And the lady stopped doing my hair and she walked around and stood in front of me, right in my face, square on. And she said, Candace, I don't really know a lot about God, but I know you're not supposed to withhold the word from people. And I got up and I began to pace the floor back and forth, back and forth. And I said, I know you're right. But what she didn't know is in my heart, I was wondering if she could handle what the Lord has shown me. But as she began to get more impatient and almost jacked me up out of my clothes, I just began to release the word. And I told her, 3 months from now, I saw you in the paper. And she began to get very excited. And she said, this must be about the beauty salon that I have plans on opening. And I didn't say a word. I just continued to pace the floor. Curious as to why I was not celebrating with her, she began to study me and then take that defensive stance again. And I knew I just had to release what the Lord had shown me, or she was going to jack me up. So I said, I seen you in a long column in the obituary. You had made the obituary. And I said, I seen your Facebook timeline and it was full of RIPs and you were a funny person and you were a good hairdresser. For when I looked into the face of your boyfriend, I didn't see your boyfriend. I seen a murderous, high-ranking demonic spirit. And this spirit is not the type of spirit that just has authority to take you out. But if somebody stands in their way when the spirit comes to get you, he'll get them too. So if I come over here and that boyfriend is attacking you because of that demon that's within him and I try to protect you, I'm liable to get hurt too. So the Lord had instructed me to not come back over here for my hair services until you rid yourself of this boyfriend. Now, I really didn't know this girl's business like that. I would only come over to get my hair done. And as the word was released to her, what shocked me and must have shocked her too. The word must have shocked her, but what shocked me is she crumpled to the couch and she began to cry. And she began to whisper to herself, he's going to expire me. He's going to expire me. Now, this whole time, I didn't have a clue what this lady was talking about. I just knew what the Holy Spirit had showed me. And she began to explain her relationship with the boyfriend to me. And come to find out, he had been abusing her since the day that they met. Even procreating and giving her a young son as a way to stay in her life. As when I seen the toddler son run past in the living room, something overtook me and I pointed at the child and I said, anchor baby, anchor baby. And she said, what is that? I said that demon needed to have a permanent way into your life through this man. And so his plan into having a permanent fixture and a way always in your life, he decided to talk you in to having a child with him. And she confirmed this by telling me the story of how he talked her into removing her birth control from her arm. As she finished with my hair, I again trilled the warning that the Holy Spirit gave me into her. Leave this man. If you don't leave this man, you will be dead in 3 months. 3 months later, I would see this man's mugshot come across my feed on Facebook. Having already researched his background and only finding DUIs, I was curious about what was going on, but I kind of already knew because of what the vision had shown me 3 months earlier. His charges were strangulation and domestic battery. So I knew this demon had attempted, but it had not succeeded in unaliving her. I was happy about that, but I was not happy that she did not separate herself from this person. I sent her a message or a DM, as they call it on Facebook, and I asked if she was okay. And this is the conversation that went down.
So let's read the message. It says, "Hey lady, how you been? I've been getting along okay. How are you? I'm okay, no complaints. I'm glad to hear that I saw the mugshot with his trash behind. I hope you are truly okay. It floored me because I saw that so clear when I was at your house last. As long as you are in a safe location, that's all that matters." Then the next one says, you called it out. Yes, I moved. He don't know where I live and he jumped on me right before the new year. It took the charges a minute to pop up though. He hasn't seen me or the baby since December when he jumped on me. I was so scared though. I honestly thought he was about to choke me to death. I never been that afraid in my life. I knew death was near. You definitely called it out. She says, "You're too good of a woman for that. Remember what I told you. You have worth." The sad part about this stuff is, guys, is that people, they stay in these situations and it's always going to be something demonic when the person that you're in a dating relationship with is putting their hands on you. This is narcissistic behavior. This is not okay. It's always going to be fueled by a demon. And Tiffany Buckner has said that there's women out there that date the same demon over and over and over through different people. So the demon will transfer to another person. Even though this is a totally different person, they still have the same tendencies. This person will beat on you, he'll berate you, he'll disrespect you, he'll abuse you in different ways. And it'll all be the same similarities between persons. It could be five new boyfriends on from the ex, right? And it's because you have this particular demon assigned to you to torment you and to cause you harm in your life. It sounds crazy to certain people that have never experienced this sort of thing, but even me, before I came to Christ, and even after I came to Christ, not always, but I had quite a few women there. It seemed like 5 women in a row were all like crazy narcissistic. Like they would all like talk down to me, try to like belittle me and stuff like that. And then after I got saved, there was 2 more women that did the same thing. But instead of sticking around and like trying to work it out, I knew my worth by then. And I would leave like immediately as soon as the disrespect started. I got out of there because you're not finna talk down to me. You're not finna cuss me out. You're not finna start doing all this crazy stuff because I know what Jesus says about me. I know who I am. And I know that I'm loved and I'm valued by him. So I'll be danged if I'm gonna let some woman talk to me crazy, right? And then I got obviously my wife. My wife is the sweetest, most amazing woman ever. She doesn't have a mean bone in her body. And so it's like, if I'd have been trying to sit up here and make something work with, like one of the women I told you guys before, man, she like punched me in the face. And I'm like, man, like you lucky you got the saved version of me. Not that not that I've never hit a woman. So it's not like I would have done that, but I can only imagine like, you punching me in the face. Like I have to defend myself and I'm not going to punch you, but I might push you to the ground. You know what I mean? You got to stop punching me, get up off me. And, it's like my wife, she's so sweet and she's so little, like my wife is 4'10". I can't even imagine her trying to put her hands on me, and not that I'm a giant or nothing like that, but I'm 5'8". So, I'm taller than my wife by a long shot. You know what I'm saying? This stuff right here, guys, is definitely demonic, man. Don't think that you're with somebody and that, somebody's going to give you a word. And this is why you do have to test every spirit. But if she would have just listened to the word that was given over her life, she wouldn't have been in this situation and she would have been okay. Now, thankfully, she didn't die, and there's still a chance to move on and live a full, life from this. If she would have just left in the beginning, she would have never gone through this. But ultimately, love is blind. People think that, oh, since I love him and I gotta work it out with him. No, you ain't called to endure nothing except for with your spouse. That's not your spouse. So burn out. But yeah, man, I'll leave her link in the description. This is her channel, Tandy3971. I'll share her link in the description to give her credit for her work as well as to make it easy for you to follow her if that's what you choose to do. That's going to do it for this one. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Until then, God bless.